Hello, my name is Rachel Filson from Seoul Foreign High School, and I will be annotating We Remember Your Childhood Well by Carol Ann Duffy. The poem is written to describe the different memories consisted of a child's memory. The perspective of the speaker is from a parent's point of view, while the audience is directed towards their child. We Remember Your Childhood Well is about confronting the past and recalling the memories that happened during a person's childhood. The idea of the poem is to suggest that memories can be different based on the various interpretations from the memories that we have, from those memories that we have, and from those events. The central meaning behind the poem is to insist that adults believe that they would remember more facts and truth about the past, and also to believe, or as adults would believe, that a child's memory would be altered based on their wandering imaginations and inability to retain information beginning at such a young age. They believe that because children are so young, as they grow older, they will not remember these memories from when they're just kids. Throughout the poem, there is a series of denials. The very first line begins with, "Nobody hurt you." Duffy uses this as an opportunity for the reader to predict what exactly the parent might be referring to. And that's what happens throughout the whole poem, is the parent is stating something, basically answering a question or a statement that the child has made, so it's up to the audience to figure out and to basically analyze what they think the child is saying or suggesting happened in their past, in their childhood. We Remember Your Childhood Well is written as a conversation. As I said before, that you only hear one side of the story, and it is up to the reader to figure out the dialogue of the child. From the title of the poem, you can infer that the child is now a teenager or even a young adult, and that they are no longer at the age that would qualify them as being a child. Meaning that this poem is written several years later to where it is able to be a conversation about a person's childhood, and it would be a distant memory, not necessarily a recent memory. I will continue on and analyze the poem in chronological order, starting with the first stanza and ending with the sixth stanza. The first stanza begins with the parents denying a claim made by their child about their past. The audience can assume that by saying, "Nobody hurt you," that the child may have suggested that someone had abused her in her past, and also that there was a threat to the child. And you learn that from the first line. In the second line, there is the bad man on the moors. It's a threat to the child, and it's a negative, this is a negative statement, and you're expecting this to be basically a killer, criminal, rapist, something of the sort. The parent is stating in the third line that this was only something that they had seen. This wasn't a real memory. It was something that the child basically created up in their own mind. Nobody locked the door. Yet again, this is another denial coming from the parent to the child, and they're trying to take control over the situation and stop this and control over the child. The second stanza is yet again another denial, but the parents are saying that with the fourth line, "Your questions were answered fully." This is also saying to the child, "We told you everything. There is no confusion. There is nothing being left out." No, that didn't occur. Saying yet again, the child is not thinking of something that actually happened. They are just creating memories and saying things that aren't necessarily true. In the sixth line, the use of the word laughing, Duffy is using juxtaposition, saying that something's positive. However, if you continue on with the line, it says, laughing itself to death in the coal of fire. This is juxtaposition, saying that using the term laughing as something positive, but it's a contrasting effect using the terms, or using the phrase death in the coal of fire. Being thrown into fire, being burnt. In the third line, or in the third stanza, nobody forced you. Nobody forced you. You wanted to go that day. Begged. You chose. This is also the parent telling the child, this was not something that we told you to do. This is something that you created. This is something that you decided to do. It was your choice. And that they did not force this upon them. Using the term here is a command, which is used in the 8th line. And it's the term look at us, or the phrase look at us, and look is imperative. In the 9th line, the phrase, the whole thing is inside your head, it leaves the audience to wonder what is happening. You're thinking, what actually happened? You create more questions, and it's emphasizing with the child, with the idea of denial from the child. Moving on to the 4th stanza, we recall what you recall are impressions. This is saying that the parent is telling the child that you're wrong, you're not thinking correctly, your mind is not saying the right things. They're very emotional. They're trying to say that they're in charge, that they're the ones making the decisions. The secret police of your childhood in the 11th line, is a use of a metaphor, and it's also continuing on with the child's imagination and the secret police killing, torturing. In the 12th line, it also uses boom, boom, boom. This could also be associated with guns, yelling, punching, connected with violence. Nobody, in the 5th stanza, nobody sent you away. That was an extra holiday with people.